Hello, my name is Corolla Bryant. I am on a quest with the literature, which is, I've explained before, is a recording by ancient humans that has a pictogram dash character writing that is created on a grid that is has the capacity to be multiplied and diminished like most grids are. This is you begin to pick up repetition, which to me is a good sign. For others, it's a complaint, but for me, it's a sign of intelligence and a sign of intentional communication. So I am headed to a site that to me appears to be phenomenal. I begin to think it's more related to ancient mariners at a time when all the East Coast had to offer was food from the ocean and the coastal areas. The rest was pretty much the land of rocks, which is Maine is known as by the indigenous people in certain areas as the land of rocks. So here I have a piece that is echoing a piece that I've been covering. And is very much close to the site I was at. I believe, we always, in this area, I have found that more of the bear has been the totem animal, but in this case, I think I'm looking more at the walrus. So to me, it's more about, the probably Greenland area coming this way for at times when the walrus was hunted to near extinction or not being able to support the community to come this way when there was walrus here in this area. But here you are. I'm going to flip you over. So here we're looking at the skeletal area where the tooth tusk is attached, and it's coming down. You will always also find the other walrus coming down and peeking at you, saying hello with its flipper coming down. I have found this type of design also on the Azores. I have a friend on Marietta Island that has found a piece like this. Not all of them are the same, meaning that the other ones that have this type of shape may not be relating to the walrus, although the tool or acknowledgement of the tool may be there, but the totem animal may change to something else. This side has also the mammoth with the mammoth or elephant with a trunk and also with a tusk coming down. These things, it's incredibly layered, but you always come up with something new that has what I call the book cover. These are like picture books. This idea of a book cover, it just tells you the subject matter or the totem, maybe the intent first step up, but then you will find that it's almost an encyclopedia of information layered and connected. So I love this piece. I leave things where they are. Taking a picture is more than enough. I might come back and visit, but I think this is phenomenal. Thank you. Bye. Okay, I bet my life on it, that what we have here is an old collapsed stone bridge. It almost appears like in the middle here, it might have even been arched to let the water pass. So there it is. It's, I believe, constructed, whether it's, Dark Ages, but a lot older. Maybe not, but it is constructed. And there is a centerpiece that would arch over the water. Who built it? I don't know, but it's there. Not far from the previous stone bridge where it actually had an arch, here is another stone bridge, not far from the other one. As I say, it's definitely constructed. Who built it? When? I don't know. There's a very beautiful erratic across the stream. And that is very interesting too. Every stone here has a story. Its placement is important. I can't stress enough to tell people to leave things where they are. Another thing, do not disclose locations. There are people out there that are very much against any discussion other than, you know, the first Columbus routine, and anything more than that they find that it must be destroyed. So mum's the word for locations. Feel free to document and share all you want, but do not share the locations of your spectacular sites. Thank you. So I am headed back to the stone lean-to. This is one of the hardest places to relocate. It's been on my radar for a long time, but there have been times when, you know, I tried to bring someone or I tried to return and it would elude me. I'm getting better at finding it. It's hard to get to. I'll show you a little bit of my entrance here. I have to remind everybody, if you have a place like this, do not reveal locations. Here in the United States, people are not ready for this. We are still dealing with pareidolia and giving meaning to designs as a sign of insanity. People are threatened by this. We haven't quite caught up. I thank the Portuguese immensely for grabbing onto this as something to acknowledge. Pareidolia is not some, you know, limited people have this gift. No, we all have it. All we have to do is open our minds and start identifying what we're seeing and understanding what it is. It is just about everywhere. So on that note, I will show you how I am approaching this from here. And we will hopefully find our stone lean-to again. This spot is amazing. I'm coming back to mainly take some more shots. I'm arriving pretty much around noontime, which isn't the best time, sort of like flattens everything with the sun overhead, but it's been terrible weather and this is the first beautiful day. So I'll turn you around and show you how I'm approaching this, so you can see it's pretty wild spot. I don't know what I guess I'll flip you around so I can see what you're so I'm, you know, quite at a precipice, very large stones with lots of inlets. They're almost these little venues here and there are almost like ancient escalators. There are passages that you can make your way through and they come out on other sides. I suspect a lot of this material you would have been using actual skins to large skins, whether it be woolly mammoth or whatever other larger skins you had prepared for creating, you know, cover and protecting you from wind and etc. It's we'll carry on using. I think they created the convex, concave sort of, you know, digging the stone out so that when they prop sticks and then laid their skins, it would create like a tent effect or a lean-to. But in this case, they actually used the stone to create the lean-to, and we'll get there shortly. Thank you. Keep everything secret. There are people here that if you aren't believing in Columbus, they want to change and destroy to keep that delusion going. All right, thank you. So we just left from up in there where I said hello. These are one of these passages that are almost like escalators for me. Ancient escalators, because you can, your body is easily supported by your hands as you make your way down, so you're well protected. You can see how large these stones are. Here I am with my little pink old lady sneakers. I got them at Goodwill. I have big feet, and in my case, if the shoe fits, wear it. So it wasn't my favorite color, but with my big feet, they work well. As I say, I could definitely use a cameraman, but I'm doing good. So here we are. As I say, you can use your hands to, you know, control yourself as you come down, but this is lovely, and I want to take a lot more pictures of this area because there's some things here that are just too good to be true. All right, so we go down the old ancient escalator. Macy's, move over. I like this better. Thank you. Okay, we're almost at the bottom of our stairwell, but I assure you, right here, this place is full of sculptures. You have the beautiful bear head. It's a big, strong bear. He's got a short nose. Well, it might have been the short-nosed bear, which was tremendous. I am sure some of these things have collapsed, and we may have had, I mean, this is a granite mountain, and I am convinced that some of these places have hidden caves, and in there we would find remnants of burial sites. The bear and the burial sites go well together. We have both porcupine and bunnies and deer. I have found in this area here that there are a lot of burying hair, and have found the fox is also aware and have seen the fox chasing the hares. But here we go. This next chamber I'm going to is rectangular. And at the bottom of the escalator, we find this beautiful square chamber, which if you notice, I don't know if you can tell, but the angle of the stone here is, you know, leaning out over so that it would protect from rain and snow drifting, and then you would lean your timber or wood support or woolly mammoth tusks, if you will, to create a lean-to effect, and then you would lay the skin on top. So I do believe that, you know, if there weren't any trees, the mammoth tusks or large bones, etc., would be used to support any skin. But this is really nice rectangular space. These people, you know, they may had fire, and they probably knew of fire, but if there was no wood or anything to burn, with the proper bedding and your super duper bear cloak stuffed with bird feathers, or even you know, you could the tanning process was spectacular. These people knew how to do things. I cannot tell you how beautiful this hole. Here we are coming back down from that little escalator site. This right here is just like a pillar. I want to stand back and look, because this is something I wanted to come back to. It's almost like, it's like I've always called this site like the Notre Dame of the bear people. It just has that feel of it. Notre Dame, the Dark Ages are like, you know, one of the last things that really engaged this old material. But I'm going to take more time to document this particular area here, just because this structure right here is just, it's just almost, I mean, it looks constructed to me. Megalithic people, take a look. This is the state of Maine, where they say, there was nothing here, you're wrong, you're crazy, there's a pill for you. Yes, I've heard it all, but I don't need a pill for this, I assure you. This is just
just gives me strength and brain expanding. Believe in yourself, people. But don't tell them where it is. All right, so we'll take some pictures and we'll do some better analysis. This is beautiful here, and we're not even to the stone lean-to yet. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Okay, so this place is well, as I say so many times, I have approached this lean-to from almost every direction. And every time I'm almost like, it surprises me. You know, sometimes I can't find it at all, but I'm getting more consistent. Maybe this place is finally accepting me as okay to visit. And I'm convinced that this stone structure has some reference to teeth. But as I say, I was just standing here looking around going, where is it? Where is it? And lo and behold, it was right behind me. So here it is. But I want to talk a little bit about tricks of the trade. This particular type of lichen in here in Maine is nicknamed Indian cornflakes. Some people would say, oh no, it's an old rock quarry used by early settlers, European settlers. This right here lets you know it is not. This type of lichen takes hundreds of years to establish itself and grow. If you're finding this on the stones, it is a later site. So I am not concerned of whether this is ancient. This is not, white man quarrying. I don't know whether they were white or whatever, but in any case, I am convinced that this particular shape that we're looking at here, might have more to do, has a element of teeth in it. The type of teeth that we call the third, that we would use with the aspect of the third hand, where you have the sort of like shovel-shaped teeth. That's my take. I did get some good pictures of it from this direction, and this is where I'm saying, you have the root extending this way. You have the root of the tooth going this way, but in some case the bird's beak and everything else, but then the human tooth, the shape of the human tooth as well, along with, the walrus and the elephant tusks and everything else. But the element of teeth is very important for the ancient people. So I'm going to take pictures and see if I have more verification. There's a lot of lichen and things growing on this surface, but it's funny how the plants use the actual design by the ancients to adjust their root systems and growth. So sometimes the way the plants grow actually echo the design below. So if your woolly mammoth looks pretty furry with fern, maybe they knew and enjoyed growing their little Gia pets. Remember those, where you'd get your little clay figure and you cover it with Gia seeds, and before you know it, you had your furry element. So we will see what we can find. That's another thing I've been looking for, is whether our figures have facial hair or not, and that should give us information. So when I see male figures, whether they have a full beard or just a goatee or no hair at all, is a great way to give us some information of what is being recorded there. Quite often they're all recorded there, but the placement of the faces on the stone can give hints of chronology. This is very important. There is a chronological placement of figures as they are placed around the stone. Elements of, for example, palms of a tree. The palms, every year you have a new growth of palms. The palms fall off and it leaves a ring on the trunk of where the previous palm was. A lot of these images have an element of of time built into them. So hopefully we can pick out some more things here. Here we are coming inside. I've brought you here before. I believe this is more of a porcupine droppings, but it might be a very big bunny. Sometimes deer too will find shelter. And this is a very large stone lean-to. So I'm going to try and take some time and try to see if I can pick up images or designs that might give us more information on who built this, when, and why. As I say, a lot of these people, earlier people, fire wasn't a necessity. You had your third claw to cut your food small to the edible size, thin as you want. On top of that, you had your cloak, your animal cloak. Sometimes you pick up. See, I can. I'm going to be sitting in my stone lean-to. I can tell you some of the things I've been thinking about. First of all, when you see, yes, sewing, knitting, making cords, ropes is something that has been happening for a wicked long time. I mean, if I needed a good rope and I ran out, my little Rapunzel braid, I could, use my own fur for creating, or your, whatever, your dog or whatever, creating, knitting is an old trick. But also, taking advantage of finding an animal that is your size. And for example, creating pants from, goat, deer, whatever, you don't really need seams. You just got to be good at tanning, removing the flesh and tanning correctly. You might just, can step right into it. I believe the bear cloak was of that nature, where you would find a bear that was hibernating, and you would find one your size, and then you would gut it out, clean it all out, eat the meat, but then you would then step into it. You wouldn't need a seam. You would just use the head as and using the skull for protection. Back at times, you were dealing with saber-toothed cats. You were dealing with very large birds of prey. To have a helmet of some sort was protective. Then your whole bear cloak, you'd be using, they were very good at tanning, not only, fur, type of mammals, but also the use of bird skins, large birds. You can tan carefully, but you would have to use a very careful scraping method to not tear the skin. But you would also, create your bird long underwear, and you would wear it, they say, inside out, so the feathers were in, and then your bear cloak on top. You would not need a fire. If you were sitting in a next to your friend, especially in an enclosed area, the body heat, you would be toasty. So fire is not something that was necessarily needed, but, as I'm sitting here and I look over here, I see darkened area that could have been a hearth. That's, I'll flip you around. This is, that right there is the top. We come down, and then all of a sudden right here, there is what appears to be a very darkened area. So that would be a place for fire. I would bet on that. And they were very good at depicting in their carvings or etchings. They're more like etchings because they're superficial. It's so I believe that these area will give you that information. You will see the human creating the fire, blowing on it and cooking on it. And they were also showing you that they were also smoking and, doing all their activities. Everything came with instructions. So we're going to take some good pictures, and I would bet right here is an old fire hearth. Betcha. So even though they didn't need fire, and fire wasn't necessary for existence, it probably was nice. So I believe that's what we have here. Cool. Thank you. All right, this right here is directly a hop and a skip, or a fall, if you will, below the lean-to that we were just stone lean-to. This has an incredible overhang with a little spring. I'm coming right into it. It wouldn't take much to set up some stakes, supports, and then have your large skin lean-to. I mean, you literally have, you know, you could almost call these caves. They are not, they're man-created, and along with your large tanned skin of a woolly mammoth that's big enough, you would have a relatively large enclosure and you'd be warm for the winter. We don't know. As far as people say, this is not at all possible, but here we are. There is all sorts of man-made things here and around here. And they're well connected. Of course, there has been collapses, etc., but some of it is still intact. This particular site has been scavenged by some people who creatively decided they were going to use a lot of the stones in their natural form to create more modern ideas, but in the process they destabilized certain areas, and we've had some collapses, which to me is so sad. There was a beautiful enclosure where it was obviously a place for ritual burials. I mean, you could see the platform where the human would be laid, and that's no longer here. And I'm sorry. I think part of our effort here is to make people aware, and I'm trying hard to try to make people aware. I think it's coming. I think we're chipping away at it. So please join me in making an effort to say, yeah, we don't need pills here. This just needs documenting and accepting that this is real. We're not monkeys just pretending to put dots together. We are human beings recognizing ourselves and realizing that, you know, we have been here a long time and highly productive and intelligent, and trying to record our presence for the future. So here we are in the future, and yet we want to ignore all this material. But, you know, the truth has a way of, you know, re-emerging when you least expect it. Hopefully this is the time. Thank you. I am way up high. There's all sorts of little ways to make your way. Like I say, I call them escalators. But this chamber here, it is deep. It is deep. And I think that fallen stone at the bottom was actually a cap to this chamber. Is it possible that there is also a possibility of a fire site here? Do I see some darkened stone? I'm going to jump down in my little old lady pink sneakers and see what it's like down there. So I'm going to pack you up a moment, but I will let you back in. I know, one of these days I may regret climbing into one of these holes because I may not be able to crawl back out. But this is a cubby. I have often described some of these sites as a place to encourage bear to hibernate. You know, bear would come down and hibernate in here. and then set up by humans. You could almost call it as a bear trap. And then later on, they would come and harvest bear, knowing where they are. And not only that, you would come and lay down your body wrapped up in your bear cloak. Because you know how bears wake up in the spring. They wake up so hungry, to find a human body wrapped in a cloak would be so yummy. But check that out. We have a sculpture here, and it looks very much like a female. I see a couple breasts, so we're going to take a good shot of that and take a look at it later. This is inside here, so they were here, inside here. Beautiful. Look at that profile right there. You got a profile right there. And then, as I say, you've got some breasts here with a female with her arm coming down, relaxing. I suspect there's also a little child right here, close to the breast. So this may also have been a birthing chamber, protected from everybody. Everybody. And let me tell you, if you don't see boobies as an archaeologist, where's your mama? Because boobies were breasts were like, they were treasures. And not only the female breasts, human female breast, but it was everything was milked. So this is very nice. I'm going to take some shots and analyze these when I get home. Thank you. So I just jumped down, and here's another beautiful chamber. This one's very nice. I mean, and you would, wouldn't stand up in this one, but it's tucked away. Could be made very comfortable if you had to. And there's a downstairs. And then we have a, well-protected area. You'd be squeezing through here, and who knows how they got in. I'm gonna get out this way if I can fit through. Yep. I don't know how big they were, but I'm gonna make it. See you later. So I probably should not be up here. It was hard getting up, so it's probably hard getting down. And I'm up there. Here I am. So we talked a lot about the bear here, and I do believe the bear plays a big role. But I also find there's a lot of platforms here and a lot of vultures hanging around. So I believe too, we also have, we not only have the experience of, death in the cold climates where I believe they were using the bear as a ritual for returning yourself back to the bear. After you took their life, you return the favor by returning them the sustenance. But here we have what I believe are also platforms for air burials, where you would lay your body out for the vultures and birds that would come and take advantage of your death to return what you took from them. I know that they have found too, and I believe it completely, that they were using bird feathers for insulation. So they would take large birds and tan their hides carefully, and then wear their skin inside out for insulation. And then you put your bear cloak. I'm going to take some pictures. I'll turn your. I can already see images of birds here. I don't know. There's a beak here. And this is a very large rock. This is humongous. This whole thing takes on, the whole piece takes on the image of the whole large bird. If you were to lay a body down, I will take some shots that, because all these things come with instructions. You know, I've talked about whistles before, and you can actually almost every tool you find, like especially arrowheads, as we call them, or small knives. All these small tools have a sight, a point on them where you can create a whistle. Sounds very much like a bird of prey. I'm sure there's some for bats, etc. To call these animals in, or to actually to have trained animals. And it shows you exactly where to blow, and etc. So these things all come with instructions. So I'm going to take some shots of this. As I say, I'm very keen on this bird head here. Rather than the bear head, we have the bird. And it's telling me that this is probably a site where a human would have been placed for air burials that would have occurred more in the summertime, and laid out for your ritual. I mean, there's so many sites here. This is just, I'm going to sit down just because I start getting scared. But this is just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. One of my favorite places. But we're way up here. All right, I'll see if I can make it back down in one piece. Thank you. Bye. I wasn't looking for tools today, but I was looking for the stone lean-tos and other niches for bears and other activities, but this tool is right here, so it is beautiful. So I'm going to share it with you right now. Here it is. Look at that. One beautiful, huge stone axe. It's been here a while. See the shape? It is just gorgeous. That's a tool. That's a humongous tool. It was either for a big person for killing big things, or just maybe for cutting big trees. For whatever reason, it is huge. My little hand. Well, I have a big hand, so this is I'll take some good pictures and see who shows up on it.